Okay, folks. Happy Monday. Not really. It's happier now than it was earlier today. That's not saying a whole lot. That's not saying a whole lot at all. Okay. So, let's see where the hell all my glasses went. I need the super readers. And they're not here. There they are. Hidden around the corner. All right. So we have a T26 here that has a red star that has the hammer and sickle logo in it. And that really wasn't very common at all on the service vehicle. So we're going to go ahead and cover over the hammer and sickle part. So let's use the flat red. And put a little bit of that here. And hopefully this will do the job. And it will. Nice. Perfect. All right. Good news. And 279 is that other number of this flamethrower tank. So we're going to put a number on it, but it's not going to be 279. Afternoon. Not in my part of the world, it's not. I hope not. I thought you were in Europe. I don't know. Afternoon, that would be Hawaii? Are you eating spam in Hawaii? Let's get I don't think I need to get the wet palette. It just takes up so much damn space. So we're going to go ahead and put some white down here. And this right here. Maroon Cardinal will be like the teal bluebird. It's funny, we've got quite a bit of bird activity outside in this house. Cardinals, which aren't that rare of a. Oh, you're here in the northeastern states. Oh, okay. And bluebirds. I haven't seen bluebirds in a long time. You know, the ones with the almost discolored breast. And we have some. So that's cool. I like birds until they go and shit everywhere. Then not so good. They haven't done that yet. All right. 279 is the famous decal set with this one. So we're not going to put 279 on here. We're going to do 278. So we're going to go ahead and Put the 7 in the middle. Stylize it a little bit. Sure, I'm not going to do an 8. I'm going to do a 3. A little 273 on there. And then do the same thing. Put a 7 over here in the middle. Northeastern state, which ones? When somebody says the Northeast, I automatically think Massachusetts. Somebody says, hey, I'm from the Northeast U.S., Massachusetts. Bam. You may actually be from, I don't know, New York. New York State. The perception that other people have of where you're from. Like when people that are from Tennessee say, oh yeah, we're from the South. Tennessee's the South, but it's not South. Tennessee's actually south of Florida. Huh? But not geographically. Okay, let's put a little bit more of a leg on this too. There you go. Massachusetts would be correct. I'd say it rather than New York. Yeah, that's what I think of. The Northeast is Massachusetts. You're not a masshole, are you? I heard that several years ago when it really resonated. Well, the number's significantly bigger on this side than the other one. I think we'll let it go. Blame it on the vodka intoxication. Massachusetts. Never been to Massachusetts. The closest I've gotten to Massachusetts is Mystic, Connecticut. That's as far as I've gone. Not opposed to it, just hadn't made it that way. Yeah, they're not bad. One's bigger, one's bigger than the other one. Doesn't bother me very much. Little tank, big number. Okay. And I'm not sure if I'm going to put any kind of dashes or something like that. T-26, 2 turrets. And see if there's any. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. They have kind of like a red line and then like a white dash underneath there. But I think it's like way pre-war. I think it's way pre-war. No, here's a unit in the Crimea. Has a 101 on it. All right, we'll put a 101 on it. Where is it? Kind of in that area? Kind of in that zone? Just something to make it other than just completely bland. .101, and it'll be on the outside of this one. So we'll put a 101 over here as well. And the way this will work is we'll have a 101 on the outside there, and the 101's on the outside here. And then this, of course, is a replaceable piece. So when you want to run this as a machine gun tank, it just fits on top of it like that. But of course, this needs to be weathered. So we're going to go ahead and add the 2 weathering colors that we're going to use, which is US Field Drab and then Iraqi Sand. And, oh, we don't have any black here. We'll fix that in a quick second. That's the flamethrower barrel. And then there's a machine gun barrel over here, which is way out of scale. There's that low-flying helicopter again, man. It must be the same helicopter making a flight path. and a dry brushing brush. Could use this big one. Okay, that's enough for that one. And then these other two, we'll do the same thing here. And it's up to you guys to see how long I stay on here, because it doesn't take much for me to get pretty darn tired at the end of the day and end up going to sleep at an unusually early hour. Like an old ass man. Oh, good. I've got a couple gator clips here. And who is it that's up in Massachusetts? Who's that vendor? There's a guy that goes to every Historicon and always has stuff on there. I can't remember what the name of his store is, but he's got a store out in Massachusetts somewhere. Of course, I can't remember what the hell the name of the store is. When I went a couple of years ago to Connecticut, I stopped by a hobby store in Connecticut or whatever, and they had a really good selection. Except it was all 1/35th scale stuff. They had a few 1/72nd scale things, but it was all 1/35th scale. And I couldn't spend much time in there because it ended up they smoked in there, which is just really, really weird to have a place where you just get gassed. So I wasn't able to peruse there as long as I wanted to, because it was just like, man, I want to come out smelling like an ashtray, because my wife and daughter waited in the car, and like, man, I better get out of this place or I'm gonna smell like an ashtray. An enclosed store where they were smoking inside of it. It's like, holy crap. I haven't seen that in years. And Iraqi sand is the final touch on that. Don't remember what the name of the store was. But I'll say it was in Fairfield. But anyways, there's one of the vendors that comes to Historicon all the time. They're from Massachusetts. And Hobby Box or something like that. Yeah. So, of course, Massachusetts. I was going to say Massachusetts is a big state. Not really, but you know, there could be something on a whole other part of the state and not even aware that it's there. But yeah, those days of hobby stores are pretty much they're gone by the wayside for sure. Can't just walk in someplace like, well, I wonder what kind of a model I'll build. Nothing. It's like you're stuck with whatever they have at Hobby Lobby, and which is whoever ends up selecting the models that they're available for purchase just really doesn't have a clue. They really don't have a clue. Oh, Snapdragon. What's going on with this? We'll see if we can make it longer than we did the other night, where I decided, let me paint a little bit in the evening, and I was good for like 17 and a half minutes and was literally falling asleep. All right, let's rinse this joker. And of course, this, let's just take a look at what it looks like. We haven't sealed it yet, but this is the flamethrower one. And that seems pretty reasonable. And then we can switch this one out. Color changing on there is not too bad. Well, I've been on here almost half an hour. And other than the cardinal, it's pretty dormant. I have to go do something else just to stay awake. I had a rough day, roughish day at work, and I'm really in no hurry of going to sleep and have the next work day come up like immediately. So, yeah, I even made coffee. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go make another coffee. Be right back, folks. You don't usually drink coffee? I do. I just don't drink it this late. Because what happens is I actually don't have trouble going to sleep, but then I wake up like every hour. So, as a matter of fact, yesterday I went out of town, go visit the daughter. She's about 2.5 hours away. And this, with this time change, although the time change is better than every day, it gets better. But still, we left like 7 o'clock, and we got back like, late-ish. And I'm like, well, I had to get a big Starbucks or whatever, get back. Because, last thing you need is like to be drowsy while you're driving. Especially at night, when you got the lights in your face and stuff like that. But I had this big Starbucks thing. And I was able to fall asleep. And then I woke up at like 2 o'clock in the morning and was having dreams about my daughter and I were reloading shotguns. I don't even own a shotgun. So we were reloading shotgun shells for a zombie apocalypse or something like that. I'm like, I don't get to pick what it is. If it was, I wouldn't pick that. Well, I definitely drink coffee, but it's in the morning. So, but I can't I don't have an intention to come on here and be done in like 17 minutes. So we're going to roll right into the white Scout car, which is Lend-Lease. And these were sent in U.S. olive drab, and they put all the Soviet slogans and all the Marxist nonsense that they put on there. So we're going to do that. Now, we've already done the original brown-violet color, dry brushed, and did the sepia tone, strong tone. So now we're going to come in and we're going to dry brush over it again. If I was still doing figures, I wouldn't have to jump around so much because there's things that don't really require any drying time. But with vehicles, it does require you to hop around a little bit or not get anything done. Here we go. Here's a big old turd. Turd of color. And this is a color that's not available anymore. This is the old olive drab that used to be called brown violet. They just discontinued that color completely. Now they've got one that's significantly greener. Yes, I drink iced coffee. So make coffee, drop some ice cubes in it, we're good to go. I don't need to drink anything warm. It doesn't really matter what the temperature is outside. It's rarely too cold for me anyways, but. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to dry brush the same color back on where we've done the brown wash. And we got to be kind of delicate with some of this stuff. There's some tools and things on here that are a little on the brittle side. So this won't have any white stars or anything. It's going to have some red stars on it though. Hobby Box? I don't know. It's some place in Massachusetts. They got a big selection of stuff. They sell things on eBay. Hobby Bunker. Hobby Bunker. That's what the name of the place is. Hobby Bunker. I don't know where they are. I don't think that they're in Boston, but I'll tell you right where it is. They have a lot of stuff. They have a lot of. Geez, what I do? Leave my phone out here? No, I have put it underneath here. Hobby Bunker. Let's see where they're located. You should go check them out, man. I guess they have a storefront. There's a place in Jacksonville, about an hour and a half from here. Back in the '90s, this place used to be called the Kit Bunker, and this was literally like somebody's like garage. It was a big garage. It was a very big garage, almost like a small house that was top to floor, all model kits. Hobby Bunker, Wakefield, Massachusetts. Where the hell is Wakefield? I know, it's that way. Yeah, it's on the north end of the Boston Loop. Yeah. Yeah, they bring a lot of stuff to the Historicon to sell. Been using the same green from American Armor for the past 4 years, but I'm only now changing it to a slightly brighter green. Allies always use a similar green, but the difference is enough to annoy me at least. Yeah, the British one's a little different. The Soviet one is. It's all artistic license. This one's very, very brown. Very, very brown. They make a. I want to say Star is the name of the decal company, which is a Russian decal company that makes decals for this particular vehicle. And the examples that they show, the silhouette of it is in a color like this. So it's not in the Russian green. It's just in a brown. I don't know if it's that noticeable on that screen, but it is in person quite a bit. And then we will add a little bit of this dark sand. To this color. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's one of those places that's just like cram packed full of stuff. I love freaking, I love freaking Google because you get an idea of what's in there and oh yeah, man, you gotta check this place out. Look at this. Look at this picture. Woo! Fun stuff, man. Fun stuff. The coolest place though was that place that I encountered in Calgary, Sentry Box. That was incredible. That's got to be the biggest game store this side of the UK. It is just impressive. Really impressive. But not a ton of stuff in 20 millimeter, but I wouldn't expect that. That's kind of a dead scale or a has been scale here in the States. 1/72nd. Not for me, but not for planes, just for for vehicles and stuff like that. That used to be when I was younger, and we traveled anywhere. I'd pull up the yellow pages. Yeah, this is like when I was 14, 15, 13, 14, 15, 12, something like that. We'd travel anywhere we went. I'd get the yellow pages and look up hobby stores, and we'd go down there and check them out. It wasn't too difficult to convince my dad to do it. He didn't really build models, but he liked looking at train stuff. And when I got into wargaming, it's like, yeah, that's and you could mail order stuff, but it was a major pain in the butt to mail order things back then. Now it's super easy. Super, super easy. And let's add a little bit more of that. Yeah, go there and check them out and tell them to subscribe to my channel. Looks like a place worth visiting. Usually a hobby store I go to has lots of 20mm one-sided owls dedicated to them. Am I behaving myself? You know how it goes, comrade. You know how it goes, Yuri. There's seats for 8 folks in here. Which of course means they probably carried 15. Need to see if we could invoke the nerd burglar, because I got something I want to mention to him. Say it 3 times fast and then spin around in one seat in place. Soviet Russia, no one behaves himself, comrade. That's right, it's all misbehaving. This is actually, I think, a fairly attractive vehicle. I don't know why, I just think it is. And we got it in US olive drab. It's going to have slogan, some kind of slogan on it. I had downloaded the decals for this vehicle and then misplaced them, so I'm going to download them again. Maybe what's a wee bit more. You'd think the nerd burglar may be too tired from his video game thing over the weekend. Yeah, I saw he went to go to some LAN party, and he goes and he plays stuff that he normally can play at home. I guess maybe he just wants to play with a bunch of stinky people. Did a watch it recap? I have not. No, I had von Manstein's backhand blow. That's right after the period that I'm really interested in. It's right after Wintergewitter. I did see some of your pictures. There's a bunch of those SS units with the black counters. It looked sharp, but man, I don't like them damn SS guys. Or NKVD, killing your own folks kind of thing. Like, don't you have like the enemy to kill? Now, this actually looks pretty good. Let's paint some tires on it. The interesting thing about Wintergewitter is the Panzer units in there are not the ones that are really well known. They're not any kind of elite formations or anything. They're ones that they just had, they happen to have, and like, well, we got to throw these in for try to break through to Stalingrad. I want to say the 6th, the 17th, and the 23rd. I could be wrong. Okay. I even bought a module for the Too Fat Lardy game thing. What was it called? Chain of Command for Wintergewitter. They make a module for it. And I was really disappointed when I got it, and I realized, you could build like your custom force. And one of the things you could do is you could build a Flampanzer 3, flamethrowing Panzer 3, which they didn't have any of them at that time. So, oops. Well, I have pulled your favorite unit out of Belgrade refit, Grossdeutschland. Well, I don't know if it's my favorite unit, but it was my favorite unit when I was building 35th scale stuff, definitely. Well, they had all the toys. They're on the Eastern Front. Their helmet's kind of cool. It's not, they're not one of the super Nazi scum guys, and they had Panthers. They had, they had some elite stuff. Yeah, I like them. Yeah, the SS got pounded defending the approach to Kharkov. Yeah, I always feel like the SS are just a little too bonsai charge-ish. A little too much brute force. SS means complex camo too, not some precision practice bad, but doing it 50 troops tire you out. I haven't tried my hand at it yet. I do have some SS troops. Just never painted any of them. Doesn't mean I won't. I just hadn't gotten around to it. SS versus Canadians. No bad blood there. Grossdeutschland, your favorite Eastern Front unit. Also like the 505th Heavy Panzer Battalion. Do you chance to know where they were in 44? Oh, you're going to play a quiz show. I'm all in for that. Let's find out, man. I'm not a fan of the Panzer Battalions because they just, they're free-floating. 505th. Panzer Colors 3 it is. Dun, dun, dun. Of course, now the first thing I would go to is the internet, but Panzer Colors 3. Panzer Colors 1 is just all the stuff. 2 is all the Panzer divisions, and 3 is like all the weird shit. So 505th. Speaking of Grossdeutschland. I think they're in here. Maybe they're towards the back. I haven't looked at this in a while. It smells like Britain. Musty. That's weird because I don't have a basement. It smells like basement. I thought they were in here. Grossdeutschland's in here. Here's some Tigers. Here's 502. Which is the elephant. That's the one that I think Carius was attached to. 505th is the Charging Knight. Okay, cool. Schwer Panzer Battalion 505 was formed in January 43. It was equipped with Tiger 1s painted overall dark yellow. The numbering system used was standard 3-digit designation painted in red with white borders. The battalion tanks were Roman numeral 1, Roman numeral 2, and Roman numeral 3. With these markings, Schwer Panzer Abteilung 505's Tigers took part in Operation Citadel as part of Field Marshal Modell's 9th Armée. Okay, so the 505th was the Tigers that were in the north part of the bulge at Kursk. They're the only Tigers that were up there. They're the only Tiger 1s that were up there. All the Ferdinands were up there in two different units. The 505th, I couldn't remember. I was talking about it the other day, about that Kursk book that I found out so many interesting things about it that I didn't really know. But there was one Panzer battalion that was up north, heavy Panzer battalion, and didn't know which one it was. It's the 505th. In the south, I want to say it's the 503rd that was divvied up between the three Panzer divisions that were on the right-hand side of the SS Panzer Corps. Of course, the SS Panzer Corps had their own intrinsic, they had a company each between Leibstandart, Das Reich, and Totenkopf. Those each had a company, so about 13 of them, each one of those units. And then the other three companies, I believe it was 503rd, were divvied up on the three Panzer divisions that were on the right flank of them, between them and Army Detachment Kampf. And then Grossdeutschland had some too. I think they may have had a company as well. But anyways, so 9th Army. So they were after the Kursk offensive. Schwer Panzerabteilung 505 was moved to the Smolensk area, so in the north, during the center-ish. During the fall of 43, it retained the 3-digit turret numbers, but the tanks had a red-brown pattern. In 44, the same scheme prevailed, though newer Tigers had cast cupolas, Zimmerit, and in some cases the new steel-rimmed wheels developed for the King Tiger. Some Tigers of the unit carried a stenciled charging bull emblem in white next to the driver's visor. In mid-44, this battalion began applying the emblem to the turrets of its Tiger 1s. This symbol was a charging mounted knight with a lance. It was stenciled onto the turret in red brown, the second camouflage color, and black. The turret numbers were then moved to the recuperator housing on the tank. Okay, so it was moved it to here. Which, I don't really care for that, but, nobody asked me. I didn't ask them to be a bunch of Nazis either. The turret numbers moved on some vehicles. The housing had a yellow band painted around it, and the turret number was then painted in black. At this point, many vehicles did not carry unit insignias on the turret. In fact, replacement vehicles were not always camouflaged. By early September 1944, Schwer Panzerabteilung 505 had been equipped with the new Tiger IIs. These vehicles were painted in dark yellow with dark bands and cloud patches of olive green. The Charging Knight unit was stenciled on the turret sides in black and olive green. In most of the tanks, the Zimmerit was applied in a smooth coating around the emblem, which made stenciling easier. The battalion staff tanks were Roman numeral 1, Roman numeral 2, and Roman numeral 3. Schwerpanzerabteilung 505 fought in East Prussia from September 44, and it was used with the 24th and 25th Panzer Divisions. Those are kind of, they're recent Panzer Divisions and not very veteran units. Initially against the Narev bridgeheads in the 1944 Russian offensive into East Prussia. The battalion fought in East Prussia until the end of the conflict. There you go. Any color pictures of them? No. I wonder if the 505 fought near Novgorod. The figure something you have is for Novgorod 44. Novgorod's pretty far north, I think. I don't know. But that's the kind of shit I like. I love looking at stuff like that. It's a shame that it's a lot easier to find stuff on the Nazi bastards than it is anybody else. I guess they just kept really good records of stuff. But you're having a bad internet connection. Oh. As they say in Canada, sorry about that. So 505th was the one that was in the north part of the bulge. All the Ferdinands were up there. The Nashorns were up there too. Nashorns debuted at Kursk, and they were all in the north. And then all in the north bulge. And I believe the Brumbars were also all the way in the north. So you got very few tigers in the north, all the Ferdinands, which is not that many of them, but still, the Brumbars and the Nashorns. The south, of course, has all of the Panthers. All the Panthers were in that Panther Brigade, which is basically a Panther regiment, so to speak, an oversized Panther regiment. And Grossdeutschland had some as well. And then the Tigers in the South they had basically twice as many, well, more than twice as many Tiger ones in the South. They had twice as many Tiger ones in the South, plus they had the extra ones that were in the SS units and Grossdeutschland. So, if they had 10 Tiger ones at Kursk, I would say that 6.5 of them were in the South. So, am I getting frozen frames? No. No, I have a warning here, but I don't really know what's going on. There's nobody on the internet here. Bunch of drop frames. I don't know. Gremlins from the Kremlin. You're greeting freezing frames and installing video. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't do anything different. There's nothing I can do about it. I just got to wait it out. Just one of those things. Sometimes it acts. Sometimes the girls are in there watching TV or something like that, and there's no problems. Right now, there's nobody watching anything, so who knows what it is? Computer's plugged in, so it's not that. Had that before, but why did my feed shut down? I realized I didn't have plugged in my laptop. You think it's Google being a prick because you have ad blockers and you're currently on a Chromebook. Is Chromebook basically the Google version of an iPad? Google being a prick. Ad blocker. I can't say I've ever used an ad blocker. There's not a whole lot of places that I go to where I just feel like that the ads are just overwhelming. Other than like the Weather Channel, I don't go. I don't go there. Friggin' Weather Channel is just insane. There's all kinds of things happening on the side. You know, want to save something on on car insurance or whatever, and there's some dancing whatever, a horse or some shit. You know, there's always all this activity. Good version of a laptop. Google is waging a war against using ad blockers, but I say screw them and their absurd ads all the time. I utterly despise ads in any shape. They got to be better than Facebook. Facebook ads are just crazy. You know what place had tons of ads, but it was before my time? Well, I didn't use it. MySpace. MySpace was just like, you couldn't tell what was an ad and what was the person's page. It was crazy. That was before my time. I mean, it was around. I just never used it. So I really don't have a whole lot of bad experiences with ads and ad blocking and any of that stuff. What I do dislike is games that are pay to win. Like those games, it's like, you know, here's this game that's free to play, right? But if you want to like throw money at it, you know, you can buy things that so you can don't have to earn them. You can get them quicker. And all of those things where you play any of those games, whether it's World of Tanks or World of Warships or Enlisted or whatever it is, there's so much noise. There's so much visual noise on a page that you have to like squint to see really what's going on. And it's just exhausting. So that's kind of advertising. But I guess there's enough people do stuff like that that they find it worth their while to do it. Because if everybody was like me, well, they wouldn't be making any money on those games because I don't spend real money on it. You know, the problem with not spending real money is then you don't feel like you get your money's worth. You know, if you're playing a free game and you get tired of it, as we all do, you can walk away from it and not feel bad. You know, because it's not like you sit there and spent $70 on it. Eventually, the ads YouTube's get repetitive, annoying. YouTube ads are overwhelming, annoying, and I refuse not to have ad blocker on. I'm not sure how that works. You guys get ads from my stuff? It's set up for advertising, but only at the beginning and the end, not like in the middle of your freaking feed. Which you could do that, but that's just annoying. That's a good way for people to just say, "Well, screw this. I'm not going to listen to this ad." I don't get to pick what the ads are. They're probably for you're probably tired of the tampon ads that come on my advertising. Nothing is, and people don't like. I don't watch any television. I don't watch any live TV, so I don't see any advertising on TV. But even worse than TV ads was radio ads. Radio ads are the worst. Those are really, really bad. Okay, so that's dry. Let's go ahead and paint. Make sure you don't have anything dry brushed on the Madus. And I might as well paint the things that are going to be. No, 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 no. We got to weather the stuff in from underneath. So that's a deal breaker. I always get one or two ads before the video. Yeah, before it starts though, right? Like you're like, oh, Tony's on. Okay, you click on it and you could probably get two ads or something like that. That's all it should be. The problem is when you get ads and you can't skip them and they're really, really long. Or who is it? Is it Hulu that has freaking super long ads? Somebody has super long ads, like, 1 of 7. Like, really? Like, really? It's gonna be that long. Tony secretly has stock in tampon company, so he included that ad. I could think of worse things. Ask your doctor about Potesla. Like, what? You don't even tell you what it's about. It have the side effects could cause diarrhea and weight loss or weight gain. It could cause weight loss or weight gain. You could have an appendage fall off, or you could grow another one. I hate medicine. I hate commercials for lawyers and medicine. Tampons really are a good thing when you get right down to it. And I don't have any problem going and buying them for people at a store. It's not embarrassing at all to me. Some people freak out about that shit, and I'm like, come on, dude. All right, let's look at M3 Scout Car decals. I had this and it fell apart. Here we go. Here we go. Visit. Oh, good old Colibri does it. Yeah, here's some examples of them. It did come with some decals. It did come with some decals. Comes with decals for French. Soviet ones. I guess I could probably just use the decals in here. I wonder if they're going to shatter. I tell you what, let's get some fresh water in here, and we'll pull out the instructions and find out where they go. Oh, sorry about that. I got sidetracked into a road closure. My wife was asking me, hey, you found something in the news that there was going to be a road closure near us. And just wanted to make sure that it didn't really impact us. And not really. So, all right, let's see if we can find the instructions for the white Scout car. If not, we will go on Scalemates. Nope, here it is. M3 white. And I like these old instructions. They look like they're made out of like almost newspaper. And we will test the decals and make sure they don't shatter. Now, I went to the hobby meeting the other day, and one of the guys, I was telling him about my experience with building these old kits, and and I never had decals that shattered, literally like a stained glass window, just He's like, oh, we just put Future over it. Well, I think Future is like this stuff right here. So, if one of these shatters, then I'm going to see if what I can do about fixing it with this. I got nothing to lose. I'm prepared to paint these on myself. So it's not like if anybody can paint slogans on stuff, it's me. I've done it. But if I don't put these decals on them, when the hell am I going to put them on? Okay. So here's the Free French Army, and here's the Soviet Army. It's funny because it shows like this cover here. Oh, you can have either one. Yeah, no, I got it with the machine gun things on here. I'll tell you what, it has one of them here at the very front part of the fender and one of them all the way in the back. And that's this B15 thing. So we'll test it. We'll test it with that. And we have a big slogan that goes across the side here. 7 and 8. I don't know what the hell it says. You and your... You and your kind. Something or another. Let's see if this works. Where is an X-Acto knife? Here we go. As soon as I get back my actual computer, I'm sending you a link to a Neolithic flint napper. What? YouTube channel I discovered and think you will like. The guy is really good teaching about that period. Neolithic flint napper. He steals flint? All right. YouTube, huh? All right, so let's do a search on YouTube. Neolithic flint. Stone Age flint napping. How to make a prehistoric flint axe. That's interesting. Easy Stone Age pocket knife. I think it'd be kind of cool to have some game where you've got, and I think they make figures for them in 28 millimeter. Not that I'm going to do that. You could do like, Cro-Magnons and Neanderthals and woolly mammoths and basically you're playing everybody who's like, Flint napping. How did you find around that? You were looking for some other kind of napping and that came up, didn't you? Well, it is cool when you're looking for A and sometimes you find Q. Hot babes in bikinis. They still do commercials like that, or they're now offensive? Those Miller Lite commercials, remember those things? And that Doritos girl? I don't watch commercials anymore. Just you gotta watch TV. Let's take this A out, okay? There's this A here. It should be on a decal. It doesn't mean anything. But we can test to see if this thing is gonna explode by setting it in the water. Okay? Well, it didn't explode. I'd love to do a miniatures game with hunter-gatherers fighting the mammoths for survival. It would be pretty cool. Plus, other stuff. You could do saber-toothed tigers. Oh, no. It shattered. It shattered into pieces. All right. So, you have a bachelor's degree in archaeology, and my focus was prehistory. As electives, I took 2 classes of, because that's all I could do, is of, what do you call it? Not archaeology. I don't remember what it's called. In the early 90s. Anthropology. That's what it was. Anthropology. Either I got paint on this, or this thing's falling apart. Oh well, let's leave it alone before I got to order a strap for my watch. Yeah, anthropology. I took 2 classes of anthropology as electives. I don't know. I don't remember which one it was. And then history for everything else. Justinian, welcome back. Okay, so let's go and let's do a search. I'm not going to do it on YouTube first. I'm going to search it without YouTube. Let's save this in case we need it. And come in and do a search for water slide decals, shattered glass. No. How about water slide decals? Old. We're spinning cracking. How to fix cracked water slide using a. Okay, how to restore old decals for scale. Okay, how to protect. Was I just correct? What I do wrong? What the heck happened? Preventing decal cracking. Modeling tips. How to fix. So this is from Fine Skill Modeler. How to fix decal shattering with Future. The trick with Future or any other water-based acrylic clear, okay, we have this. We have Pledge 4 Care. is you must wait at least 24 hours for it to completely cure so it doesn't begin to dissolve. Okay, let's read this article. I know this has been posted before, but I was hoping there was a way to fix them without having to buy a special clear decal film liquid. I've heard Future being mentioned. Any thoughts on this? Also have a clean... buy decal sheets. Sorry to hear your difficulties. Theoretically, any clear gloss will do the trick, including Future. The idea is that the clear coat will hold the decal together. The trick with Future or any other water-based acrylic clear is you must wait at least 24 hours for it to completely cure so it doesn't begin dissolving when you put it in water. So apply the clear of your choice, be patient, let it cure completely, trim closely around the decal image, and apply as you would any other decal, except as much as possible avoid manipulating it once it's on the surface. The less you monkey with that fussy decal, the better. Also, remember that close may be good enough. For example, when decals from an old airliner started breaking up on me, I gave them the Future treatment. It helped, but some decals still went goofy on me. However, I found that I could A, still slide fragments together on the surface, and B, that Tester's Insignia Blue was nearly an exact match for United Blue. Okay, well... fuck it, maybe we're about to learn a new skill and we just don't know it yet. So, I'm going to take a brush here with some Pledge Floor Care, and we're going to coat all of these decals. God, this smells good. With the coating. Okay, and just to be safe, I'm going to do these French ones too. So I'm going to actually try them first. Okay, and we're going to wait 24 hours. We're not going to do that. We're not going to touch that. All right? Then we're going to go ahead, since we're waiting, we're going to go ahead and brush the gloss on the areas that they would normally go on anyways. So, one of them is the big old logo on the side here. Okay. We have a small one here by the door. Okay, in case I decide to put the number on there. These sometimes had the U.S. numbers, and then they ended up like covering them over, painting them over, but it was kind of obvious something was there. I'm going to leave a little spot on both doors for a little red star, just in case. There's no harm, no foul, because this stuff will just, once you put the clear coat on it, it just disappears. There. And where's the other one? Here? Yeah. And I think that's it. So this guy will be continued tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've had that kit for a long time. I'm pretty sure I bought that at the hobby store in the early 90s. How's the weather in Florida? Been getting pretty cold, and it's been getting pretty cold at night considering how hot it's warmed up. It got up to like 72, 73, and it's been dropping to like 38. So, not bad. Got some old Airfix decals, 1967 or something. I should check it out. I question if they work. Middle 50s, low 40s, northern Michigan, perfect sleeping weather. I agree. That's good weather. So we will leave the white Scout car for another day. Well, tomorrow. We'll come back and monkey around with that tomorrow. as the one guy said. Don't monkey around with them. Okay, what else do we have over here? We got these that we can go ahead and cut the grooves and mount them. The two T28s. Good looking little models. Even though they're under scale a little bit. Doesn't bother me any. I bet that's really going to bug the person that's probably really bugs somebody a lot. Like, you just need to get a life. If what I'm doing bothers you so much, you need to, like, you know, live a little. Like that one person who was having a moo cow. Like, man, I don't understand why you're putting your tanks on bases. Well, I don't understand why it fucking matters to you. You know? All right, I'll check out the Flint thing, although... Why do you think that interests me? I don't know, maybe it is. Maybe it does. I don't even like Book 1 armies. That's like a really early army. Australopithecus africanus. I still remember that. I don't know which, you said the different anthropologists. I don't know which one it was. I took 2 of them. All I remember is the tribe that they were talking about. They kind of used one tribe as an example. It's this tribe in the border between Brazil and Venezuela called the Yamamano. And these guys are just completely naked. Running through fucking rainforest with their dick tied up. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Run around a little bit more careful than that. It was like 92, 91, 92, something like that when I took those classes as electives. I basically took it because there were some folks that I wanted to take the class with, and they were taking it as well. And I'm like, oh, and the teacher was very animated. He was a kind of a cool guy. Always had a Indiana Jones type hat on him, and he was a good teacher. It was a relatively easy class. Wasn't as easy as geography. That was a freaking easy class. Considering I'm better at geography, or used to be better at geography than history. Putting tanks on bases looks better. I can go both ways on that. The problem is some vehicles will have to be on the base. And I don't want some of them on one and some not. So they might as well all be on them, you know. Person don't care, never care what others did. It's not my model. A person do whatever they want because it's not their own work. That's right. If you were talking about Australopithecus, it was likely physical anthropology or a survey of archaeology world prehistory. Holy nerd burglar, Nordic. Tone it down. Thought you'd enjoy learning about how stone weapons were made by a master craftsman. Actually have a valuable chunk of raw obsidian in my bookcase. I'll check it out. I will check it out, man. Keep it down over there. Stone Age weapons. I have some people that I saw recently that look like they could have a lot of Neanderthal in them. Some Neanderthal looking people. That would be a cool game, wouldn't it? There's a set of rules, I think. I don't know. They're probably uber basic. I think they're called Tusk, and that's basically it's like a mammoth hunt type game. But you could go down that slippery slope, and you didn't think I was that level of nerd burglar. Well, you could have just taken classes. You don't have to be educated. Just like those people that have PhDs. Oh, I'm a PhD. I'm super smart. You might not have any common sense. You might just be like book smart. Like you might be like really good at the quadratic formula, something useless like that, but then you can't read a map. I hate the quadratic formula. God. Oh, man. It's funny because I don't really consider myself somebody who's bad at math. But, I'm abstract shit. I suck at abstract stuff. The Hoffman. You know what I wanted to see the other day and I wasn't available for free? I wanted to see the Godzilla movie with a daughter. The -1 one, and it's not available for free, so we'll just have to wait. I don't really want to pay money for it. Especially because you're already paying money for other channels and stuff. It's like, just wait for it to come out on them. It might be a while, but whatever. I actually wanted to see it to see if they had the right tanks and the right heavy cruiser. Take them to task. There's just some things in school that are just easier than others. Anything that involved like diagramming sentences or like, God, screw that. The only English class I actually enjoyed was like the last one I took. And it was like a fucking poetry class or some nonsense. I think it's nonsense for me. It's not nothing I'm interested in. And it was Shakespeare of all things. But the way the teacher did it was like we broke into groups and we discussed it. So that actually worked. That actually worked really well. But I hate writing. The stream is all messed up for me. Well, I can't make it better. There's literally nobody online here at the house. There's nothing else going on. It's been a while since it's been a stream issue. Oh well. So my old neighborhood, we lived in that neighborhood for 22 years. And yeah, there's literally only one. Well, I can't make it better. I could shut the stream off, and then you won't have a stream at all. I don't know. The old internet, the old neighborhood I lived in. We were in the house for 22 years, and we were wanting them to put fiber, and they never put freaking fiber in because they couldn't, because of the excuses. It cost too much money. The neighborhood, this, that, or the other. We leave the neighborhood, freaking 2 months later. and they're putting fiber in the whole fucking neighborhood. Like, is that an FU or what? I hope it's really unaffordable. I've actually had really good luck with the internet here. You know, it's basically a mobile internet. We have a almost looks like a boombox with T-Mobile, and it's 5G, and have no problem streaming stuff and playing video games, and up until today, no issues with the feed. I don't know. Maybe it is the Nerd Burglar. It's the Gremlins from the Kremlin. Don't listen to me. I don't know what he says. That's right. At my next job, I'm going to make sure I'm the dumbest guy there. So I could be, like, we got some folks that are like really like, it must be really liberated to be that stupid. Like, I want to be the guy that runs around like blowing spit bubbles all day long and be entertained. So next job I have, I'm going to be the dumbest fucker there. They can just be on like cloud nine and stuff, like, whatever. Yeah, what I don't get about Mr. Nerd Burglar is he posts a lot. He stays up really late on weekends in particular, and he has a lot of junk food really really late. That Joker must have some bad trip dreams. I'm just telling you, man. If I eat just before bedtime, and your stomach's trying to digest stuff, you have the craziest stuff that comes up. Crazy stuff. My stomach is purring. Is it? I don't know. You get a thing for my body noises. It's probably this. It's probably this black coffee stomach line eating itself. By the way, did you get that thing in the mail? Did you get the woman's hearing merit badge that I sent you? My microphone must be just killer. That's a Blue Rhino microphone, by the way. It was, I guess, worth every penny. Can you take a little bit more of this thing off? So no more cat problems lately? No more frisky problems. You have good headphones and your microphone unfortunately picks up everything. Good thing I don't have the need to pass gas when I'm online. All right, we're gonna paint the base color on this again. I think that worked pretty well. I was pretty happy with how that turned out. We're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna apply it right on there. Another here, yeah. Well, if you can smell it from where you're at, that's a record by a very large magnitude. Like freaking 6 states over. Yes, that was my stomach. I can feel it that it's like it's got nothing to work on. It's that black coffee. That's my weight loss program. Drink black coffee and have the stomach lining eat itself. Hey, but if I wouldn't have done that, I would have gone to sleep an hour ago. My 700th scale kaiju collection is coming along nicely. I need to start looking at some. Do they make the kaiju waterline? Right? I mean, they make a model of like the Godzilla where it's just, just the top half. So what's the backstory of all the kaiju? I mean, we know Godzilla, right? It was a nuclear accident or whatever the fallout. Is that the other monsters are the same way? Well, I don't like how this turned out. It didn't sit flush. Well, we'll have to cover it with some stuff on it. Don't be falling down now. Okay. This probably is going to be on the same base as a half track. This is a similar body style. So let's grab a US half track and see what kind of a base that's on it. We've got Ethel here. It could almost stand to be on a smaller one. Let's see what we got. We got something already pre-made. Perfect. Sold. Well, I'm definitely going to have more Soviets than anybody else after this. I already had more Soviets than I had Germans. I was impressed. I was like, wow. Yes, that was the stomach again. Never really get into Godzilla stuff. The other kaiju are all kinds of things. Pollution, nuclear testing, angry ancient gods of Earth. Really? Nothing wrong with adult you doing that. There's some 3D printed models I might try to do a waterline with. Who's the next coolest Godzilla monster? Kaiju. Who's the next kaiju? Is the big Kraken from the redo of Clash of Titans considered a kaiju? That fucker's big. I'm just saying. I mean, that's like, he's bigger than the city he was gonna stomp on. That guy's got gas. You got problems. I think I need to make this a little smaller. Let's get a real size thing. I don't like to arbitrarily cut things. I like to have a real world dimension that goes along with it, and metric preferably. We'll cut it down to 70 millimeters. Well, I liked that stuff when I was a kid because I was a huge dinosaur fan. And back in the 70s, there wasn't very many dinosaur things. There's what? Land of the Lost, and we didn't get that channel in the town we lived in. And those were lame ass looking freaking dinosaurs. I always liked dinosaur shit. You could eat some Big Macs. I get why people aren't into Godzilla. It was just one of those interests that never went away. Been craving McDonald's. I don't know. It's back from the Philippines. Last time I went to McDonald's, so freaking expensive. And it was crap. It was crappy tasting. And like crappy bad for you too. Super expensive. Something that would have been $4.50 was like $9 now. Like what the hell? Do you even have a dollar menu? Yeah, fast food's no good. It wasn't very good to begin with, but now stuff even that you want to get people to eat healthier, ban drive-through windows. Yeah, fast food used to be cheap, used to be bad for you, cheap, but taste good. And now it's, still bad for you, not cheap, and not taste good. And there's just some things I don't eat out. Like I know people that love Taco Bell. I'm like, I like those kind of tacos, but we make them at home. Like I don't like this mystery of ground beef. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like we eat any kind of ground beef, it's the super lean kind, not like we have a cat missing and we don't know what happened. So order up. Like yeah, no. That ground beef is like super greasy and like watery and shit. Like it's just Not appealing at all. And now the tacos are like $2 a piece or something like that. I'm not paying $2 for a taco. Just like hot dogs. I don't have a problem eating a hot dog, but I'm buying them myself. Not like it's $8 for a hot dog. You can buy 2 packs of hot dogs for $8. Well, you used to be able to. Who knows what they cost now? But I never have stuff like that out. I don't eat chili out either. Too easy to like. Where's that missing finger? I don't know. Serve it to the public. Yeah, I like tacos. Problem is, I want to eat like 9 of them. They're freaking good. And you know, they break and stuff falls on your plate, and you eat that later. You get a little side salad later. Yeah, they're freaking good. But I don't eat them at freaking Taco Bell. Taco Bell's one of those things like, hey, go back. We're going out and eat it at 3 o'clock in the morning. Or 2, or whatever the hell it was. Taco Bell, too expensive now. Much easier to make the Taco Bell menu at home. Yep, and it's better. Yep. I don't really care for Mexican food much. Tex-Mex I do like. You know, the fake Mexican stuff. Yeah, I like that stuff. Don't eat it often, but... Was it ever good, though? I don't know that it was ever good. White Castle's burger. We don't have them here. There's a local burger spot that is spectacular, and they've been around forever. And it's not a chain or anything, but all right, Nordic. Have a good night. Peace out. Tex-Mex is what I go hard on because it's everywhere here. Is it good though? I love Tex-Mex because I love cumin. Anything that has that cumin taste, sign me up. That's there's just some things that just like call out to me. That and olive oil. Anything that's olive oil, something to sign me up. Well, we went to Colorado a couple of years ago. Well, they had Mexican food everywhere, and I really wasn't a fan of it. But I did have something I had never had before, and I really like it. And it's all that hatch chili stuff, and that stuff is good. That's a good taste. That's a really good taste, in my opinion. You know, so okay, we got that done. This one's drying. What else we got? I'm not gonna do the the bushes on the SU right now. That's a bit much to get. Jesus, it's 10. Tortillas, homemade. I'm happy with Tex-Mex place. They have bagged tortillas. You don't go back. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely can be one of those things. So, all right. Well, I guess I'll cut off then. I got a lot farther than I thought I was going to. The power of coffee. Yeah, hatch chili. I'd never had it before until like 3 years ago. It's freaking awesome. It's freaking awesome. So, yeah. All right, folks. Well, thanks for stopping by.